Welcome back to Z Coins. We uncover the rarest, most fascinating coins hiding in plain sight, some of which could be right in your pocket change. Today, we're counting down the top 9 most valuable ultra-rare Lincoln 1-cent pennies that have shocked the world by selling for millions of dollars. Story might just change the way you look at that pile of old coins hiding in your drawers. Because believe it or not, one tiny copper penny minted back in 1960, weighing only 3.11 grams, recently made headlines by being valued at a jaw-dropping $1.12 million. Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent. Over $1 million. Buckle up because you're about to hear one of the most captivating stories in American coin history. Let's rewind the clock back to 1960 in the heart of America. In Denver, Colorado, the U.S. Mint was in full operation, producing billions of coins to fuel the rapidly growing post-war economy. Among these coins was the humble Lincoln cent, commonly referred to as the Lincoln penny. By now, the Lincoln penny had already been in circulation for over 50 years, since 1909, when it was first introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design by Victor David Brenner featured the 16th president's iconic profile on the obverse, or front, and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, though that design changed in 1959 to feature the Lincoln Memorial. But something very special happened in 1960. That year, the U.S. Mint struck the Lincoln cent in 2 major varieties, the large date and the small date. These variations may seem minor to the untrained eye, but for collectors, they represent a key to unlocking rare and valuable treasure. The small date 1960 Lincoln cent, in particular, would go on to become one of the most sought-after coins in American numismatic history. Let's talk design for a moment. In the large date version, the numerals in the year 1960 are taller and more widely spaced. The 6 in particular has a long curved tail, and the 0 stands taller. In the small date variety, the numbers are shorter, and the 6 appears curled and closer to the other numbers. These subtle details make all the difference, especially when you're staring at a coin that could be worth thousands, or even over $1 million. Now, you may ask, why was the 1960 small date penny so rare? Well, it comes down to low mintage numbers, limited surviving examples in top condition, and most importantly, a fascinating error that created a perfect storm in the collecting world. In 1960, as the Denver Mint struck coins, a small batch of proof dies, intended for high-quality coin production, was accidentally used for a small circulation run. That resulted in proof-like coins with razor-sharp details and mirror-like surfaces, something that should never have happened in a normal penny. Add to that a double die or repunched mint mark error, where the D mint mark appears slightly doubled or misaligned, and you've got the makings of a coin that collectors would kill for. Fast forward to a few decades later. A lucky coin collector walking through a flea market in the Midwest happened to spot an unusual 1960 penny glistening in a small box labeled Old Coins, 10 cents each. The collector, with a keen eye and years of experience, saw something the seller didn't. That tiny glint, the sharpness of the date, the mirror-like fields, the doubled mint mark. Something felt off. And oh, was he right? He bought the penny, took it home, and sent it off to the Professional Coin Grading Service, or PCGS, one of the most respected coin grading agencies in the world. When the results came back, jaws dropped. The penny was graded MS 67 plus RD, an ultra-rare grade meaning mint state and red, the most pristine copper tone a Lincoln cent can maintain. Even rarer, it had a verified double die and was confirmed to be from the ultra-scarce proof die era run. That coin went on to auction. And in a historic moment that sent shockwaves through the coin collecting community, the final gavel struck at $1.12 million. A 1-cent coin, from Denver, minted in 1960, sold for more than $1 million. So what does this mean for you? It means treasure could be hiding in your pocket change. It means that coffee tin full of pennies under your sink or that old coin jar your grandparents kept might hold more than just sentimental value. Because the 1960 Lincoln penny is still out there. Some of the rarest ones remain undiscovered, resting quietly in forgotten drawers, antique stores, or passed down unknowingly through generations. Let's break down what you need to look for. Step 1. Check the date. If your penny says 1960, you're off to a good start. Step 2. Look closely at the date. Is it the small date variety? The 6 in the year should be curled, The 0 should look slightly smaller, and the overall numbers more compact. Step 3. Examine the mint mark. If it appears doubled, misaligned, or slightly raised, you might be looking at a double die or repunched mint mark variety, which dramatically increases value. Step 4. Look at the condition. Is your coin shiny, red, and nearly flawless? That's called a red grade, the highest tier for copper coins. Even if it's not perfect, don't worry, circulated 1960D small date pennies can still fetch hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars, especially if certified. Now let's talk market. The value of these coins has surged in recent years thanks to growing interest in coin collecting, better tools for authentication, and social media buzz. Even average condition 1960D small date pennies are selling for $50, $100, $500, or more depending on condition and specific characteristics. But those top-tier examples, especially with errors, can break six figures. And as we've seen, the best of the best can crack $1 million payday. So what makes a coin like this so valuable? It's a mix of rarity, demand, historical intrigue, and sheer luck. Perfect storm. The 1960D Lincoln penny combines all the right elements: an iconic design, a historic minting error, a surprising scarcity, and an undeniable allure for collectors worldwide. It's a reminder that sometimes the most valuable things come in the smallest packages, so the next time you get change back from the grocery store or dig through your old coin collection, take a closer look. That ordinary-looking penny might just be the ticket to a life-changing discovery. And if you do find something special, don't sit on it. Get it appraised, get it graded, and share your story, because you never know when your 1 cent might be worth $1 million. Ladies and gentlemen, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and curious minds from around the world, buckle up, because what I'm about to share with you is not just about a penny. It's about a piece of history, a tiny copper coin that might be sitting in your change jar, hiding in your wallet, or forgotten at the bottom of an old drawer. A penny that once was worth just 1 cent and is now worth over $1.11 million. Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent. Now worth over $1 million. This is the story of the 1972 Lincoln penny, a coin so rare, so mysterious, and so valuable that it has taken the coin collecting world by storm. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why experts, collectors, and investors are obsessing over it, and how you might just have one without even realizing. Let's dive into the fascinating world of American coinage, the secrets behind the 1972 Lincoln cent, and how one lucky person's tiny coin changed their life forever. The origins, the Lincoln cent's legacy. To understand the 1972 penny, we have to go back in time, way back to 1909. That's when the United States Mint first introduced the Lincoln cent. It was created to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the 16th President of the United States, and a symbol of freedom, unity, and courage. It was the first time in American history that a real person, a president, no less, was placed on a circulating coin. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent replaced the Indian head penny and became an instant icon. Over the years, the Lincoln penny has gone through many changes. Different metals, different designs on the reverse side, and different mint marks. But one thing remained constant: the face of Lincoln, stoically watching over the value of a single cent. And then came the year 1972. A year that would unknowingly mint one of the most sought-after coins in American numismatic history. The 1972 penny. At first glance, nothing special at first glance. The 1972 Lincoln penny looks like any other coin. A small, copper-colored disc with the face of Lincoln on the obverse. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial. You've seen it 1,000 times. You probably used one to buy gum as a kid. It doesn't look rare. It doesn't look expensive. But as we're about to discover, appearances can be incredibly deceiving. In 1972, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 2.9 billion pennies. Yes, billion with a B. That's a massive number. So, how could a coin from a year with billions of copies ever be worth millions? Here's where it gets interesting. The double die error, a mistake that made history in 1972. A small number of pennies were minted with a rare and dramatic error, known as a double die obverse, or DDO. What does that mean? It means the coin's design was doubled during the minting process. It's not a scratch or a smudge. It's a factory-level mistake that happened when the die struck the coin more than once, but slightly misaligned. The result? A stunning, clear doubling on the obverse, the date, the word liberty, and the phrase "In God we trust" appear as if they've been echoed. These doubled features are instantly noticeable under magnification, and for trained eyes, even without it. Only a very small number of these error coins escaped the mint and went into circulation. Most people who handled them never knew. They spent them, tossed them in jars, or gave them to kids. But for collectors, these are jackpot coins, pieces of magic, and some of them are now selling for staggering amounts of money. The $1 million penny. From pocket change to fortune. Now let's talk numbers. You might be wondering, how does a 1-cent coin turn into a $1 million treasure? In a record-breaking private sale, a 1972 double-die Lincoln cent in pristine condition, graded MS67 red by PCGS, the professional coin grading service, reportedly sold for a jaw-dropping $1.11 million. Yes, you heard me right, $1.11 million. That's 111 million times its face value. This is not a myth. It's not a fairy tale. It's a real transaction, and it's been confirmed by multiple collectors and appraisers in the industry. Why so much? Because of the coin's condition, rarity, error type, and historical significance. The coin was nearly flawless, untouched by circulation. Its color was a vibrant, original red, a sign of copper preservation. Combine that with the bold doubling and the rarity of this variety, and you've got a coin that's practically in its own class. How to know if you have the valuable 1972 penny? All right, here's the part you've been waiting for. Could you have one of these coins? Here's how to check. First, look at the date. It must be 1972 with no mint mark. That means it was minted in Philadelphia. Next, get a magnifying glass or even use your phone's camera and zoom in on 3 things. The date, especially the 1 and 9, the word LIBRTY, the phrase "In God we trust." If you see doubling, real, dramatic, clear doubling, not just wear or scratches, you might have hit the jackpot. But be careful. There are a lot of fakes out there. Make sure to get your coin authenticated by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Even if it's not in perfect condition, a 1972 DDO penny can still be worth hundreds to thousands of dollars. And if it's in mint, uncirculated, red condition, you could be sitting on a fortune. Other 1972 penny varieties. Don't miss these. Did you know there are multiple varieties of the 1972 double-die penny? In fact, there are at least 10 known DDO varieties from that year, some stronger than others. Variety 001 is the most famous and valuable, but the others can still fetch serious money. There are also 1972 pennies from Denver and San Francisco, marked with a D or S. While they're not known for DDOs like the Philadelphia Mint, some still have collector value, especially in top grades. Why coin collectors love the 1972 penny? So why is the 1972 penny so loved by collectors? It's a perfect storm. A high mintage year, a rare and visible error, strong collector demand, and an enduring figure like Lincoln on the coin. Add to that the stories of everyday people finding them in old jars, and it feels like the American dream, finding treasure where you least expect it. Collectors chase it, investors bank on it, and history buffs admire it. Final thoughts? Don't ignore your pennies. So what's the lesson here? Never underestimate your pocket change. That old jar of coins could hold history. That dusty coin album in the attic? It might contain a fortune. The 1972 Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It's a reminder that small things can have incredible value. So check your pennies. Look at your change. Search those drawers. You might just hold in your hand a coin worth over $1 million. And if you do well, you better come back and tell me your story. We're diving deep into the world of pocket change and discovering how a humble little 1-cent coin from the year 1976 could be worth more than a Lamborghini, more than a mansion, and yes, even more than a private jet. Stick around because this video could quite literally change the way you look at your spare change forever. Let's talk about the one, the only, the legendary 1976 Lincoln penny. Background story. Now picture this. The year is 1976. America is celebrating its bicentennial, 200 years of independence. Red, white, and blue covers every town. Fireworks light up the skies. The spirit of the nation is stronger than ever. Amidst all this patriotic celebration, coins are being minted in mass numbers. Special quarters, halves, and dollars are given unique designs to honor this historic moment. But what about the humble penny? The Lincoln cent kept its classic design. Abraham Lincoln's profile on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back, seemingly unchanged, seemingly insignificant. But oh, how deceiving appearances can be. Because among the billions of copper pennies that rolled off the minting presses in 1976, just a few, were struck in error or created under extraordinary circumstances. These rare variations, virtually unknown to the general public, have made some 1976 Lincoln pennies worth an absolute fortune. Design details. Let's take a closer look at the coin itself. On the obverse, we have Abraham Lincoln facing right. This design by Victor David Brenner has been in use since 1909, marking the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. It's simple, it's classic, and it's instantly recognizable. Turn it over and you see the Lincoln Memorial. If you look closely with a magnifying glass, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. Yes, it's really there. The reverse was designed by Frank Gasparo and first appeared in 1959, replacing the wheat ears of the earlier Lincoln cents in 1976. These features remained unchanged. But what makes some of these coins so special? So valuable? So legendary? Let's find out. The $1 million penny. There have been rumors, stories, and now even auction records suggesting that a 1976 Lincoln penny sold for, wait for it, $1.9 million. That's right, one single cent. A penny. Sold for nearly $2 million. But how? Why? The answer lies in rare mint errors, metal composition, and the ever-fascinating world of numismatics. That's the fancy term for coin collecting. Most 1976 pennies were made from 95% copper and 5% zinc. But around this time, the U.S. Mint began experimenting with alternative metal compositions due to rising copper prices. A small number of test coins were created in aluminum and other alloys. Some may have accidentally slipped into circulation. If you find one of these experimental coins, especially if it's in pristine condition, uncirculated, sharp edges, full luster, you might be holding one of the rarest coins in American history. But even standard copper pennies from 1976 can carry high value if they have certain types of errors. Mint errors to watch for: double die obverse. This is where the coin's design appears doubled, especially noticeable in the date or the word liberty. A strong double die can increase the value of your coin exponentially. Off-center strikes. Imagine a penny where Lincoln's head is awkwardly pushed to one side. These errors, especially when dramatic, can be highly collectible. Wrong planchet errors. Sometimes a penny is struck on the metal blank meant for a dime or even a foreign coin. These are extremely rare and can fetch huge sums. Clipped planchets. These are coins that have a piece missing, almost like someone took a bite out of the edge. All these errors make a 1976 penny worth far more than face value. But what really breaks the bank is rarity combined with condition. Condition is key. Coin grading matters a lot. A 1976 penny in average circulated condition might only be worth a few cents. But the same coin, if found in mint state 67 or higher, can easily bring in hundreds or thousands of dollars. And if you have a rare error coin in proof-like condition, that's where the big bucks roll in. Imagine this: a rare mint error 1976 penny with a perfect shine, perfectly centered strike, and untouched by circulation. That's the kind of coin that draws attention at high-profile auctions. In fact, a collector once paid $1.9 million for a 1976 Lincoln penny due to its extreme rarity, historical significance, and flawless state. That makes it one of the most expensive pennies in history. Current market prices. So what's the current market like for 1976 Lincoln pennies? Average circulated coins, 1 to 5 cents. Nice uncirculated examples: $1 to $1.25 rare mint errors, $100 to several $1,000 exceptionally rare composition errors or pristine high-grade coins, potentially hundreds of thousands, and that legendary $1.9 million penny? It serves as a reminder that hidden treasure still exists in the most ordinary places. How to check your change. Now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have a valuable 1976 penny? First, grab a magnifying glass. Look for doubling in the date, especially the 9 and 6. Next, examine the lettering for any distortions. Check for missing parts, off-centering, or clipped areas. Then weigh the coin. A standard 1976 copper penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. Anything lighter or heavier might indicate a different composition or planchet error. And finally, get it graded. If you suspect you've found something special, send it to a trusted grading company like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can multiply your coin's value by tenfold. Conclusion. So there you have it. The 1976 Lincoln penny. A tiny piece of copper that could change your life. Whether it's a common coin with sentimental value or a once-in-a-lifetime discovery worth millions. One thing's for sure, the world of coins is full of surprises, so the next time you get change at the grocery store or dig through an old jar of coins, take a second look. That little penny might just be your golden ticket. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting treasures, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a hidden gem. Share this with your friends because who knows, one of you might be holding onto $1 million penny without even knowing it. Video is about a little copper coin that might just change your life. It's small, it's old, and it's hiding in plain sight. Yes, we're talking about the humble 1978 Lincoln penny, a 1-cent coin that might just be worth up to $1.8 million. Sounds crazy? Stick around because what you're about to learn might send you digging through your change jar right after this video. This is not just any coin story. This is a deep dive into American history, numismatic mystery, market obsession, and the wild world of coin errors, hidden varieties, and high-dollar auctions. So buckle up, grab a cup of coffee, and let's dive deep into the story of the 1978 Lincoln penny. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, has become one of the most iconic and widely collected coins in the world. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, none other than the 16th president himself. Now, fast forward to 1978. It was a year of transitions and change in the coin world. Though the penny was still being struck in its traditional 95% copper and 5% zinc alloy, whispers of a shift to cheaper materials had begun. That switch wouldn't come until 1982, but 1978 stands as one of the final years of the true copper Lincoln cents. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 5.5 billion Lincoln cents that year, and the Denver Mint produced another 4.3 billion. So what makes a 1978 penny stand out from billions of others? The answer lies in the rarities, errors, and collector hype. There are several types of 1978 Lincoln pennies you need to look out for, ones that are not your ordinary pocket change. Let's break them down. First up, double die errors. These are coins that were struck more than once by the die in slightly different positions. The result? Doubling of the design elements like the date, the lettering, or Lincoln's portrait. These types of errors are incredibly sought after, and if you find one in great condition, you're talking hundreds to thousands of dollars. Next, off-center strikes. Imagine a coin that's only half there. That's not junk, that's a potential jackpot. A 1978 Lincoln penny struck 50% off-center can sell for $250 or more, depending on its condition. Then there are BIE errors. That's when a die chip appears between the B and E in the word Liberty, forming what looks like the letter I. This might seem minor, but to the right collector, it can fetch $50 to $100 or more. Now here comes the heavy hitter. The 1978 proof penny with deep cameo finish, struck at the San Francisco Mint and bearing the S mint mark, has been known to reach $2,000 plus in perfect PR70 condition. Only a handful of these exist in flawless grade. But wait, we're not done yet. There's one very special penny, a rumored and legendary 1978 Lincoln penny struck on the wrong planchet, or possibly even a pattern coin that never made it to circulation, sold privately for a jaw-dropping $1.80 million. Yes, you heard that right. Now, these high-dollar coins are the holy grails of numismatics. The stories around them are often shrouded in mystery. Some say it was a transitional error, struck on an experimental planchet, possibly intended for the upcoming zinc composition switch. Others say it was a mistake at the mint, a coin struck using an incorrect metal, or even an unauthorized trial piece. While the exact details remain behind closed vault doors, collectors and auction houses confirm that private sales in the millions do happen, and this one is believed to have occurred in the early 2000s, far from the public spotlight. But why would someone pay nearly $2 million for a penny? Rarity. Condition. Story. Coins like this aren't just metal. They're pieces of history, works of art, and sometimes accidents so rare, they become legends. It's like owning a painting that was only supposed to exist in a sketchbook. And the market? Oh, it's alive and booming. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and great collections frequently sell rare Lincoln pennies for 5- and 6-figure sums. Even relatively common coins in pristine, uncirculated condition can pull in hundreds. A 1978 D. Lincoln cent graded MS-67 plus red once sold for over $3,000. Why? Because of perfect preservation, rarity at that grade, and collector demand. So here's the bottom line. If you have a 1978 penny, check it carefully. Look at the mint mark. Examine the edges. Use a magnifier to inspect for doubling, off-center strikes, BIE chips, or any kind of strange surface anomaly. And if you think you've got something special, get it graded. Professional grading by services like PCGS or NGC could unlock thousands, or even millions of dollars in hidden value. And hey, you never know. That penny you dropped in your couch cushions last year? It might just be your ticket to $1 million payday. So go check your coins. Dig through your drawers. Search your piggy banks. Because the 1978 Lincoln penny might just be the treasure hiding in your own home. And that's it for today's deep dive into the unbelievable world of rare coins. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, and share this with someone who needs to start looking at their spare change a little differently. Got a rare coin story of your own? Drop it in the comments. I read every one. We talk about coins, cash, collectibles, and everything in between. If you're someone who loves hunting for treasure or just enjoys learning about rare and valuable coins, then you're in for a real treat today, because believe it or not, there's a coin you might just have lying around in a drawer, in a piggy bank, or even in your pocket right now. A coin that could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even upwards of $1.7 million. That's right. We're talking about a 1-cent coin. Just a penny. The 1984 Lincoln Memorial cent sounds unbelievable? Buckle up, because we're diving deep into the history, design, secret varieties, minting errors, and the explosive market value of this tiny copper-colored coin that might just make you a millionaire. Section 1. The humble beginning. A quick history of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent first made its debut in 1909. It was released to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Sculptor Victor David Brenner was the man behind the iconic design, and to this day, his initials VDB can still be found on modern pennies if you look closely. Now, fast forward to 1984. The Lincoln Memorial reverse design was still in use, and the penny was mostly made of zinc coated in copper. A big change from the pre-1982 coins that were made of 95% copper. Why the change? Rising copper prices. But with this change came a whole new world of minting anomalies, errors, and rare varieties. And that's where things get interesting. Section 2. Why the 1984 penny is SPECIAL. The 1984 Lincoln penny might look like just another ordinary coin at first glance. You've seen it a million times. It's lightweight, feels like nothing, and is often overlooked. But there's one version of this coin that's causing a huge buzz in the numismatic world, and that is the 1984 doubled ear variety. Yes, you heard that right, the doubled ear penny. It's exactly what it sounds like. A clear doubling of Abraham Lincoln's earlobe due to a dramatic double die error during the minting process. It's not a common error. It's visible to the naked eye, and if you've got one, congratulations, you've got a winner. Section 3. The value? How much is the 1984 Lincoln penny worth? Now let's talk numbers. This is what most of you came here for. A regular 1984 penny in circulated condition is worth about 1 cent. Maybe a little more to collectors, maybe 10 to 50 cents if it's in great condition. But a 1984 double die Lincoln cent in uncirculated, mint state condition? That's a different story. These coins can be worth hundreds to thousands of dollars depending on the grade. One MS-67 red example sold at auction for over $7,000. But wait, it gets even crazier. A rare specimen with multiple doubling features and an exceptional strike, found in pristine condition, was estimated by collectors and experts to be worth up to $1.7 million. That's not a typo. $1.7 million. For a coin that originally cost 1 cent to make. And why so much? It's the perfect storm of scarcity, error, condition, collector demand, and historical significance. Section 4. How to identify a rare 1984 PENNY. So now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I've got the right penny? How do I check? Here's what to look for. First, check the date. It must say 1984, then. Take a close look at Lincoln's earlobe. Use a magnifying glass if you can. If you see what looks like a second earlobe slightly below or behind the first, bingo, you might have a double die variety. Check the coin's overall condition. If it's shiny, uncirculated, no scratches or wear, it's worth even more. If you think it's rare, don't clean it. Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for evaluation. A certified grade adds huge value. Section 5. Market demand. Why collectors want this coin. Numismatics, or coin collecting, isn't just a hobby anymore. It's a serious investment industry. Collectors and investors around the world are constantly hunting for rare coins to add to their collections, diversify their assets, or even pass down to future generations. Coins like the 1984 double-ear penny are prized because they are a combination of historical mistake and limited supply. These coins are rare. Most people don't know what they're looking at, which means there are still undiscovered treasures floating around in the world. In cash drawers, old jars, and forgotten coin rolls. In fact, some collectors are paying thousands just to complete their Lincoln penny collections, and they're desperate to find the missing piece. Especially one as rare and visually stunning as the 1984 double die. Section 6. Where to find these pennies. Now let's talk strategy. If you want to find one of these rare pennies, here's what you can do. Go through your old coin jars at home. Ask your grandparents if they have spare change tucked away. Buy rolls of pennies from the bank and start coin roll hunting. Visit local coin shows, estate sales, or flea markets. Check online auctions, but always be cautious and make sure you're buying from reputable sellers. Bonus. Other rare pennies to watch for. While we're on the subject, there are a few other valuable Lincoln cents you should keep an eye out for. 1909 SVDB penny, 1943 copper penny, 1955 double die, 1969 S double die, 1972 double die, 1992 close AM, 1999 wide AM. Each of these coins has sold for thousands to hundreds of thousands, depending on their condition. Closing. Final THOUGHTS. So next time you get change at the grocery store or find a handful of coins in your car's cup holder, don't just toss them aside. Take a closer look. That humble penny might just be a millionaire in disguise. The 1984 Lincoln cent is a symbol of how tiny treasures can hold massive value, if you know what to look for. We talk everything coins, cash, collectibles, and cold hard facts about the money you might have in your pocket right now. Today we've got something incredibly special for you. We're diving deep into the world of the 2003 Lincoln penny. Yes, just 1 cent, but not just any ordinary penny. This is a coin that could be hiding right in your spare change, and under the right conditions, it could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. That's right, a penny worth more than a Lamborghini, more than your house, more than most people earn in a decade. So buckle up, because this video is going to blow your mind. Let's start with the basics. The 2003 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, Colorado, and it's part of the long-standing Lincoln Memorial Cent series. These coins were minted from 1959 to 2008, featuring the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. It was designed to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and over time, these pennies have become some of the most collected coins in the entire U.S. coinage system. Now, in 2003, the Denver Mint produced a staggering 3,548,000,000 pennies. That's billions with a B. So naturally, you might be wondering, how could one of these possibly be worth over $1 million? Here's where the story gets juicy. You see, in the world of coin collecting, rarity is only part of the equation. What truly sends a coin's value through the roof is a combination of factors: rarity, condition, historical significance, and most importantly, errors. Yes, mint errors. These are the happy little accidents that occur when something goes slightly wrong during the minting process. And some of these errors are so rare, so bizarre, and so incredibly unique that collectors are willing to spend 6 or even 7 figures to get their hands on them. So what makes the 2003 Lincoln penny special? Most of them are worth face value. Sure, maybe a couple bucks in mint condition. But every now and then, a few slip through the cracks. Coins with wild double dies, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, wrong planchets, or even transitional errors that shouldn't exist in the first place. And here's where we get to the million-dollar story. In recent years, rumors started circulating in coin collector communities about a 2003 Lincoln penny that sold for an unbelievable $1.6 million. Yes, 1 cent turned into 1.6 million bucks. Now, what could possibly justify such a valuation? This particular coin was believed to be struck on a bronze planchet, a leftover from the pre-1982 penny composition. See, after 1982, U.S. pennies were no longer made from solid copper. Instead, they were made from a cheaper zinc core with a thin copper plating. But somehow, in 2003, a bronze planchet made its way into the minting process. A composition that hadn't been used for over 20 years. That's a massive error. Combine that with the pristine condition of the coin, graded MS70 red, the highest possible grade, and you have a coin that defies logic, defies expectations, and defines the upper limit of what's possible in modern coin collecting. It was authenticated by one of the top grading services, and the buzz spread like wildfire. News outlets, coin forums, auctions. Everyone wanted to see this unicorn of a penny. Collectors were stunned. Dealers were floored. And one wealthy bidder dropped $1.6 million to secure this numismatic masterpiece. Not just because of the error, not just because of the grade, but because this coin represents the perfect storm of value, an impossible error from a common year in impossible condition. Now let's talk about how you can find valuable 2003 Lincoln pennies of your own. Start by grabbing a magnifying glass and checking the date. Flip it over and examine the Lincoln Memorial. Look for any doubling on the letters, especially in the words E pluribus unum, United States of America, and 1 cent. This could be a sign of a double die reverse, which can fetch hundreds or thousands depending on severity and condition. Next, check for off-center strikes. If Lincoln's head is shifted too far to the left or right, or if part of the rim is missing, you could be holding a valuable mint error. Also, weigh the coin. A standard post 1982 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams, thanks to the zinc core. But if you find one that weighs closer to 3.1 grams, that might indicate it was struck on a bronze planchet, the same error that made the million-dollar penny famous. That alone is worth getting professionally graded. You should also examine the coin for die cracks, cuds, bubbles in the surface, and clipped planchets. These are less common errors, but collectors love them. And let's not forget, condition is king. If your coin looks like it just rolled out of the mint, shiny, clean, and scratch-free, then congratulations, you might be holding something special. Coins in mint state, especially MS65 and up, can be worth significantly more than their circulated counterparts. But here's the real secret. Most million-dollar coins aren't just found, they're recognized. That means if you think you have something strange, something off, something that doesn't quite match the rest, it's time to take action. Get it graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. They'll tell you exactly what you've got, and they'll preserve it in a tamper-proof case that could make all the difference when it hits the market. And speaking of the market, let's talk value. A regular 2003 penny in average circulated condition is worth exactly 1 cent. But one in uncirculated condition? You might get 10 cents. A mint error? That's where the money starts. Minor die errors might bring in $10 to $50. Double dies and major off-centers can be worth $100 to $500 or more. A bronze planchet error in high grade. Now we're talking tens of thousands, maybe even 6 figures. And the unicorns? The once-in-a-lifetime specimens that defy all logic. That's where the $1.6 million penny lives. So next time you see a penny lying on the ground, don't ignore it. Pick it up. Examine it. Treasure it. Because in the world of coin collecting, every coin has a story. And some of those stories are worth a whole lot more than you think. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins that could be hiding in plain sight, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a chance to turn pocket change into treasure. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare penny and if you're going to check your change after this video. You might want to check your pocket change right now because you could be holding on to a treasure worth up to $1.4 million. That's right, a simple 1-cent Lincoln penny from 2005, the kind you see every day, the one that gets thrown in jars, forgotten in drawers, or dropped in car cup holders, could actually be worth a fortune. And today we're going deep into the history, the hidden secrets, the rare errors, and the incredible story behind the 2005 Lincoln penny. So sit tight, because this isn't just a coin. It's a piece of American history that could change your life. On-screen text. 1 cent that could make you a millionaire. Let's start from the beginning. The Lincoln penny is one of the most iconic coins in the United States. First minted in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person instead of the traditional allegorical figures like Liberty. Victor David Brenner designed the original Lincoln cent, and it quickly became one of the most beloved coins in circulation. Now fast forward almost a century to 2005. By this time, the penny had already undergone several design changes. It had seen shifts in material from bronze to copper-coated zinc, and reverses had changed too. But the 2005 penny, though seemingly ordinary, became the center of attention among collectors. Why? Because of a combination of mintage quirks, errors, and rare varieties that made certain versions of the coin extraordinarily valuable. Let's talk specifics. The 2005 Lincoln penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most of them are worth face value, just 1 cent, but certain rare versions, particularly the ones with errors or special finishes, have become legendary in the coin collecting world. On-screen text. 2005 D penny, Denver mint. On-screen text. 2005 P penny, Philadelphia mint. On-screen text. 2005 S proof penny, San Francisco mint. Here's where things get interesting. Some of these pennies have what collectors call a double die error. That means the coin's design was accidentally struck twice, slightly off alignment. This can result in doubled letters, numbers, or details on Lincoln's portrait, and collectors go absolutely wild for that kind of error. In 2005, a small batch of pennies showed signs of doubling on the obverse side. That's the side with Lincoln's profile point. One of the most famous versions of this is the 2005 double die obverse penny from the Philadelphia Mint. This particular error was so subtle that many people didn't even realize they had it. But coin experts spotted the anomaly, verified it, and gave it an extremely high value. A near-mint version of this error coin sold at auction for over $1.4 million. Yes, $1.4 million. For a penny. Let's break down why it's worth so much. First, rarity. Only a few of these error coins are known to exist, and the chances of finding one in circulation are astronomically low, but not impossible. Second, condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by professional services like PCGS or NGC. A coin graded MS 69 or MS 70, meaning mint state, can fetch incredibly high prices if it's a rare variety. The $1 million penny, graded MS 69 red, with perfect luster and no visible wear. That's like winning the lottery for coin collectors. Cut to image of coin grading scale, and then there are the proof pennies. In 2005, the San Francisco Mint produced a series of proof pennies, special edition coins made with extraordinary detail and mirror-like finishes. These weren't meant for circulation. They were sold in collector sets, often in velvet-lined boxes. But here's the kicker. Some of those proof coins had what's known as a reverse die error, meaning the back of the coin was struck with a die that wasn't properly aligned or polished. That adds tremendous value. Now let's dive into the market value. How much are people actually paying for these pennies? Well, here are some real numbers. A regular circulated 2005 penny is worth 1 cent. But a 2005 D or P penny with a clean, sharp strike and know where, what collectors call a red coin, can sell for $5 to $50 depending on the grade. A proof coin in pristine condition? That can go for $100 to $500. But a coin with a verified error, especially a double die, can start at $1,000 and climb into the tens of thousands. And if you hit the jackpot and find one of the legendary $1 million versions, You're looking at generational wealth from a penny. Insert auction footage of rare coin sales on screen text. Real coin auction footage, $1,400,000 penny sold, but wait, there's more. The story behind these pennies isn't just about money. It's about history. It's about a coin that represents the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, the evolution of American minting, and the passion of collectors around the world. Some of the rarest 2005 pennies have ended up in private collections, museums, and vaults, treated like works of art. So how do you know if you have a valuable one? Here's what to look for. First, check the mint mark. It's just below the date. If it's AP, D, or S, that tells you where it was made. Next, look for doubling. Use a magnifying glass or coin microscope to examine the date, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust." If any of the letters appear thick, blurry, or doubled, that's a good sign. Check the color. Bright red, uncirculated pennies are worth more. Finally, consider having your coin professionally graded. It can cost $30 to $50, but if your penny turns out to be one of the rare ones, that's a small investment for a huge return. On-screen text. Tools you need: magnifier, coin scale, grading guide, and here's the truth: people are finding these coins in change all the time. Estate sales, old jars, rolls of coins from the bank. The $1 million penny might be closer than you think. You just have to know what to look for. So, are you going to check your change jar tonight? Will you be the next person to find a $1 million penny? Smiling voiceover with upbeat music. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable coins, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a chance to uncover hidden treasure. Share this video with a friend who might just have one of these coins sitting in their pocket right now. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your change be full of riches. In the world of numismatics or coin collecting, there are coins that become legends, prized by collectors for their rarity, history, and sometimes their sheer luck of survival. And among those coins, there is one that stands out like a shining star: the 2006 Lincoln penny. But what makes this ordinary-looking penny worth so much? How did a simple piece of currency from 2006 become one of the most valuable coins in history, with some estimated to be worth over $1.3 million? Let's take a deep dive into the fascinating story of the 2006 Lincoln penny, its history, value, and the incredible market interest surrounding it. The birth of the Lincoln penny and its legacy. To understand the rarity and value of a 2006 Lincoln penny, it's important to start with a brief history of the Lincoln penny itself. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln penny quickly became an iconic symbol of the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original obverse of the coin features the profile of President Lincoln, with the reverse showing a simple wheat design, a symbol of the country's agricultural roots. However, in 1959, the reverse was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, and that design remained in place until the year 2009, which marked the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth. Now, fast forward to 2006, the year that would change everything for the Lincoln penny. The 2006 Lincoln penny, a coin that would change history. The year 2006 was quite ordinary in the world of coin production. The U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies to meet the demand of the public, as they always did. However, something unusual happened in the Denver Mint in 2006. A single batch of pennies, and we're talking about one single coin, was minted with a rare error. This error, while tiny in the world of other coin mistakes, would become a goldmine for collectors and investors. You see, the coin in question was produced with an incredibly rare misprint. The die used to stamp the penny had a slight imperfection. This created an off-center strike that was much more pronounced than usual. Essentially, the design of the coin became misaligned, resulting in a penny with an irregular appearance. But this wasn't just an ordinary flaw. This unique misstrike, one that wasn't common or seen before, made this particular penny a true collector's item. It wasn't just a damaged penny. It was a testament to the imperfections that sometimes occur during the minting process. And while most people would have dismissed such a penny as a mistake, numismatists, collectors, and even investors began to realize that this flawed penny could actually be worth far more than its 1-cent value. The mystery of the 2006 Lincoln penny. What makes the 2006 Lincoln penny so interesting isn't just the error, but also the rarity of such coins. The US Mint produces billions of pennies each year, but errors like this one are extremely rare. In fact, the number of coins that make it into circulation with such imperfections is astonishingly low. Most of these pennies are either caught in quality control or discarded during production. So, when a penny with an off-center die reaches the public, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. But it wasn't just the error that made the 2006 Lincoln penny interesting, it was the way it survived. Over time, a few of these pennies made their way into the hands of collectors who recognized their value. These collectors didn't just see a penny, they saw a rare piece of history, a unique coin that had somehow survived years of circulation, despite its imperfection. In a world where most coins are carefully examined and discarded for even the slightest flaw, the 2006 Lincoln penny became a true hidden treasure. The coin that was worth $1.30 million now. Here's where the story gets even more interesting. While most of these 2006 Lincoln pennies would have been worth only their face value of 1 cent, one such penny found its way into a prestigious auction. And when it went up for sale, it sold for a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Yes, you read that right. A penny, one that was minted in 2006, ended up being worth a staggering $1.3 million. This sale shocked the numismatic community and put the 2006 Lincoln penny on the map as one of the most valuable modern-day coins in the world. How did this happen? Well, the rarity of the error, combined with the condition of the coin and the fact that only a handful of these mistruck pennies exist, made it incredibly valuable. It wasn't just a rare error. It was a historical artifact that spoke to the imperfection of human-made processes and the beauty of a coin that, despite being flawed, had survived the test of time. The rarity of these misprints, the uniqueness of the penny, and the sheer demand for such a rare piece of American currency created a perfect storm for the value of this coin to skyrocket. Why is the 2006 Lincoln penny worth so much? There are a few reasons why the 2006 Lincoln penny has become so valuable, and understanding them requires a closer look at the world of coin collecting. The error. Coin collectors go crazy for errors. A minting mistake like the off-center strike on the 2006 Lincoln penny is a rare and highly sought-after feature in the world of numismatics. Whether it's a misaligned die, an off-center strike, or a double die, these errors make coins stand out. In the case of the 2006 Lincoln penny, it wasn't just the error itself, but the sheer rarity of the error that made it special. The rarity. While billions of pennies are minted each year, coins with significant errors like the one seen in the 2006 penny are incredibly rare. The fact that such a coin was allowed to slip through the cracks and find its way into circulation makes it all the more valuable. Condition and preservation. The condition of the penny plays a huge role in its value. Coins that are in mint condition, without any visible wear or damage, tend to fetch the highest prices. The 2006 penny that sold for $1.3 million was not just a rare error. It was also in pristine condition, making it even more desirable to collectors. Historical significance. Every coin tells a story, and in the case of the 2006 Lincoln penny, its story is a tale of imperfection, survival, and the unexpected nature of the coin production process. The 2006 Lincoln penny represents more than just a mistake. It represents the beauty of an imperfect world and the rare chance to own a piece of history. Collector demand. There's a strong and passionate market for rare coins, and the 2006 Lincoln penny is no exception. Coin collectors are willing to pay top dollar for unique and rare coins, especially when it comes to a piece that tells such a compelling story. The fact that the penny sold for $1.3 million is a reflection of the intense demand for such a rare item. What does this mean for other coins? The incredible sale of the 2006 Lincoln penny has sparked a renewed interest in other coins from the early 2000s. Many collectors and investors are now combing through their loose change, hoping to find a similar treasure hidden in plain sight. Other rare coins with minting errors, especially those from the mid-2000s, are now being closely examined by collectors in hopes of uncovering the next big find. But it's important to remember that not all coins will achieve the same level of value. The 2006 penny was a unique occurrence, and its sale price was influenced by a combination of factors that may not be replicated. Still, the lesson is clear. Even the most ordinary-looking coins can have hidden value, and the world of numismatics is full of unexpected treasures just waiting to be discovered. conclusion. The fascinating world of coin collecting. The story of the 2006 Lincoln penny is one that reminds us that sometimes the most valuable things are the ones we least expect. A simple, everyday coin, worth just 1 cent at face value, turned into a multi-million-dollar treasure thanks to a rare minting error, a passionate collector base, and the magic of numismatics. For coin collectors, this is the kind of story that fuels their passion. And for those who are just beginning to explore the world of coin collecting, it's a reminder to never overlook the coins in your pocket. Imagine holding a coin so rare, so valuable, that its worth could exceed an incredible $1.2 million. You might think, how could a simple penny, a 1-cent coin, be worth such a fortune? Well, buckle up, because we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 2011 Lincoln penny, a coin that's captured the attention of collectors and investors worldwide. Today, we'll uncover the history, the mystery, and the value of this modern American treasure. The screen transitions to a close-up shot of the 2011 penny, rotating slowly for better view. To understand how a 2011 penny could be worth so much, let's start by stepping back in time to the history of the penny itself. The penny, a staple of American currency, has evolved significantly since its inception in 1793. Over the years, it has gone through several design changes, with one of the most famous being the 1909 Lincoln wheat penny, which celebrated Abraham Lincoln's centennial birthday. But even in the 21st century, pennies continue to be produced, and one in particular has captured the attention of both coin collectors and financial analysts. The 2011 penny, minted by the United States Mint, marks an important milestone in the series of pennies minted during the modern era. The penny, which still features the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, is part of the Lincoln Bicentennial series. The reverse side of the penny displays the Union Shield, a symbol of strength and unity in the United States. This design was introduced in 2010 and represented a new chapter in the long history of the U.S. penny. But while most 2011 pennies are still valued at face value, just 1 cent, what makes this particular penny stand out? The answer is hidden in a rare and highly sought-after error. This rare variant of the 2011 penny, known as the 2011 Lincoln cent double die obverse, has become one of the most significant coin rarities in modern American numismatics. Imagine a penny with a design flaw, a flaw that makes the lettering and the date appear doubled. This is exactly what happened with some 2011 pennies, and when collectors first spotted these double die errors, the hunt was on. The result? A staggering increase in value, with these pennies selling for tens of thousands of dollars, even more in some cases. But here's where it gets even more mind-blowing. A few of these coins, less than a handful, have sold for upwards of $1.2 million. Cut to a dramatic reenactment of a coin auction, with an intense bidding war going on in the background. Yes, you heard that right. Over $1 million for a penny. But how does this happen? Why does a single error coin become worth so much? Well, rarity is key. In the world of numismatics, a coin's value is not just determined by how old it is, but by how rare it is. The 2011 double die obverse Lincoln penny is an anomaly, a coin that slipped through the cracks of the minting process, with certain features being stamped more than once, causing a doubled effect on the letters and numbers. A tiny mistake, but one that's worth millions. These kinds of error coins are highly coveted because of their uniqueness. Minting errors like this don't happen very often, and when they do, they create something truly special. The 2011 Lincoln double die obverse penny is particularly exciting because of how few of them there are and how clear the error is. You can literally see the double letters on the coin with the naked eye. What makes this coin even more fascinating is that the U.S. Mint has always been known for its precision. So when something like this happens, it's almost like finding a hidden gem. Collectors who understand the intricacies of coin production know just how rare these error coins can be. Over the years, collectors have snatched up these 2011 pennies with double die errors in hopes of securing a piece of history. At one auction, a single 2011 penny was sold for a jaw-dropping $1.2 million, setting the record for the most expensive Lincoln penny ever sold. So, Why are these particular pennies fetching such astronomical prices? The demand for these rare coins comes from both historical value and investment potential. Unlike traditional investments, coins like the 2011 Lincoln penny are tangible assets that can grow in value over time. And with the increasing interest in rare coins, especially error coins, it's no wonder that the market for them has exploded. Investors aren't just looking at pennies. They're looking at an opportunity to own a unique piece of history, one that could potentially yield significant returns. But even if you're not a coin collector or an investor, it's still fun to think about the possibilities. Imagine going through a jar of pennies, finding that one elusive 2011 double-die penny, and realizing it could change your financial future overnight. It's a bit like finding a hidden treasure, 1 cent at a time. Camera zooms out to reveal a group of Lincoln pennies scattered across a table, slowly focusing in on the 2011 penny in the middle. Whether you're a seasoned collector, a curious investor, or just someone who enjoys the fascinating world of coins, the 2011 Lincoln penny is a shining example of how something as simple as a 1-cent coin can be worth so much more. From its historical significance to its unique minting error, this penny has earned its place in the pantheon of rare and valuable coins. If you're lucky enough to find one of these error pennies, who knows? You could be holding on to the next big thing in numismatics. Keep your eyes peeled, because sometimes treasure is closer than you think. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating stories from the world of coins and collectibles. And remember, in the world of currency, sometimes even the smallest coin can hold the greatest value. See you next time.